What is going on, everybody? Happy to see you guys showing up here today. I have something that I think most people will enjoy, whether you like buggies, whether you like neon signs, whether you like engines with sickening boost bottles, or whether you like piston and sleeves in a sandwich bag. You pick what you like, and you're gonna find it here on this channel. You know why, everybody? Because this is Friday Night Nitro, and I took my nerve-relaxing pills. That means I might actually feel 48% okay today. Let me say hello to the people I have here on the stream. We got Big Boys Toys, happy to see you here, bro. Got my good friend Benjamin Martinez, Pinker RC. I just replied to you in great Spanish. I gotta learn a little more. How you doing there? Steve, happy to see you here, man. Jim, we got JT, Northeast Mods. I saw Lotus RC, and the first early birds to the stream were John Hensley and Geo Mac and Lotus RC. Big thumbs up to you guys. These thumbs were just touching engines. I hope that is okay. You let me know. In my book, it's adequate. All right, so let me explain what my plan is today. Honestly, we're going to have to see how this goes. Oh, I forgot Boosted RC, and we got John here in the stream. Happy to see you here, my guys. Now, boost bottle. What are they all about? In fact, we will discuss what they are all about. I found a real classic vintage post online from the year 2003 that explains what the boost bottle does. I read it, but I think it's in all of our best interests that I probably read it again. So you let me know if you want me to go a little more in depth on what this boost bottle does. Some people say it does less than voting in an election. I am not sure if I am one of those people. I am one of those the glass is half full people, not one of those that say voting doesn't matter. Although they can draw district lines any way they want based on the voting population at large. You know what I'm saying? So I guess you could say it actually doesn't matter. My dude Original is here. Happy to see you here, man. You know, I haven't been going to the RC track for a little while. As you know, I have become injured, but the Nitro Gang adventure never ends. So let me wait a little while till I see you guys coming here in the stream, and we will begin learning. JT, how you doing? I hope I said hello to everybody. If I miss somebody, you know, eventually I'll get to you in the video there. Just in case you guys just, you know, maybe you weren't sure. All aspects, how you doing, my dude? Ray Coral, thank you for that channel donation. I already know where that's gonna go. You want to know where? To my very high copays for the chiropractor. I got an appointment tomorrow, so I'm not sure if there's going to be a video or not. Eventually there will, but I don't know what time. In case you guys were not sure, we are live and on air. And did you notice we are not getting mirrored today? There is zero mirroring. You know why? Because I want your eyesight to be good. All right? Melissa and I were just watching a movie, and it was like this movie where I guess, you know, it's about coding and like hacking or whatever. And she's over there reading the little screen. You know how they have the black screen on the computer and the guy's coding or whatever? Dude, I could read that screen from like across the room. Okay, we had a little eyesight competition. You guys want to know who won? It was this guy right there. This guy. Satan's Rage, how you doing, man? All right. Anyways, let me bring you all up to speed a little bit, my dudes. Now, funny question there from Booster RC. Isn't Van Damme in that? Surprisingly, no. The current movie we're watching, apparently the plot is, it's honestly real stupid. The plot is basically there's some guy that develops some kind of machine that extracts the essence of fear, you know, being afraid, the essence of fear. And I guess he uses this essence of fear in, I haven't figured out what the rest is. But basically this coding guy, you know, guy types on a computer or whatever, he gets bullied in real life. So he got a lot of fear in himself. You know, what he should have got is a Nitro. Reduce a lot of that fear, my dudes. Eliminate that fear. and make Nitro great again. Anyway, if you guys want me to turn off that sign in the background, I can. I do want to give you all a couple updates on that Hellfire right over there in a little bit, just not ready yet. Some parts have come in for the Hellfire. But today, it's not Hellfire Day. Today is Sportwerks Ofna Hyper 8-port day. All right, you know what? That light is kind of distracting me. Here we go. All right, it's a little bit, what happens is, you know, refraction, reflection type of stuff. You know, people that think Earth is flat, it isn't. Doesn't matter. I turned it off, okay? Anyway, so thank you for that channel donation from Ray Coral previously there. Let me scroll down to the bottom over here. I was missing some comments. My bad about that. So the story on this buggy, if you guys might remember, let me give you a little rundown on this, and then we will discuss what we got going on with this particular engine. By the way, notice my sickening clutch bell. World champion David Ongard. 14 tooth baby, but we'll get down to business on that in a little bit. I do want to talk a little bit about the history of this particular Sportwerks buggy. This one was donated to me a while ago by a great channel viewer and member for a restoration, David, and it's Rickety Rack. Happy to see you guys here. No Music RC, when he watches this video, he will know. I never forget what a viewer does, gives, or helps with on this channel. Never forget a viewer. Tulin, how you doing, my dude? Tulin. Anyway, the issue with this one, we have the factory Sportwerks 26. It is extra toast, and my plan was to send this for a repinch. Nilla Bean, man, how you doing, Nilla Bean? Your picture makes me want some Reese's Pieces, man. Wish I had some Reese's Pieces right now, but I don't. So, oh, Ray Coral goes, bought another 3.3 T-Max and another RC10 GT this weekend. Super excited. Well, man, congratulations. You bought some great models. What generation RC10 GT do you know? Like the first one with that kind of pan style chassis, or the second with the blue chassis, or kind of the RC10 GT Plus? The last gen of the RC10 was the RC10 GT 2. Man, I got all the generations up in my brain. Anyway, so the story with this original factory engine, I cleaned it, I took it apart, I have the parts that I will assemble back in a bag over here. So these are all the originals, as we could see. Put them to the side. I'm going to show you guys just so we know what the situation is with this buggy, and I'll explain kind of what my plan is. Right, it's always good to have a plan. All right, Andrew Pope, how you doing, my dude? Well, we got a Sportwerks buggy. Factory engine is dead, so I figured why not stick an Ofna Hyper 8-port with a boost bottle. I think that's a good idea. So this is the factory piston and sleeve from the engine in this Sportwerks exactly. And just so we, you know, so we're on the same page, CLZ John, how you doing, my dude? David, I'm glad. Yes, I kind of put this Sportwerks to the side for a while there, right? But I'll tell you the reason why. The reason why I put this to the side for a long time, because, you know, we have literally zero pinch in the factory piston and sleeve. So once I collect enough low compression engines to send for a repinch, I'll be able to continue. But at this point, I have about 3 engines. I'm looking to maybe send about 4 to 5. So as I come across a couple more, you know, the engines have to be worth saving. Like, we're not talking about like junk engines or anything like that. So this is one of those that is worth saving. The sleeve looks to be good. The piston is in good condition. Look at the ports on this. In fact, this is, you know, these original Sportwerks engines. It's a Mach 26, basically. This is what the cooling head would have looked like, Mach 26. Very similar to the engines on the low C LSTs, right? nice work on the porting. You know, a lot of the cheaper engines, they only have about 3 ports. This one, if we count them, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 port, well, plus 1, so I'm not sure if that's called a 7. Is the exhaust considered an actual port? I mean, it is a hole in the sleeve, right? So would this be a 6 plus 1? I'm not totally sure. But let's continue. We'll talk about a good question here from John Hensley. What is up with the boost bottle? How do we get boost? So most of you guys might know there are some gimmicks for, you know, in this hobby. Some of the gimmicks, there's really not that much evidence on whether it's true or it's not true. A lot of it comes down to user experience and opinion. But, you know, we could still examine the logic. One of those gimmicks, and we're not going to talk about this boost bottle yet, is the supercharger. So people put on superchargers onto Nitro engines. You guys might be aware that it's about like a $300 supercharger. Basically, it goes onto the air filter. There's like a, you know, I'm sorry, to the carb. There's a couple pulleys, some O-rings that control all of it. It doesn't do anything because Nitro engines, they don't really work based on the principle of a supercharger, which is forced induction. It works based on back pressure with a tuned pipe and essentially the scavenging system. So I'm not going to get into much of that, but just know that that is actually a gimmick. Yes, supercharger. There are available superchargers, but they're not very, you know, I think Northeast Mods here might know a little bit about it, but the consensus is superchargers for Nitro 2-strokes, right? We're only talking about 2-stroke Nitro engines without separate fuel pumps of this design. Superchargers do not really do anything other than add complexity. Maybe they'll give you a couple percent, I don't know. But I have never come across an article anywhere that said they do anything other than just look cool. That's basically what I'll keep at that. Now, let's discuss Nitro Pimp. How you doing, my dude? Happy to see you here, bro. You guys, Nitro Pimp and Andrew Pope actually released sickening videos this week. If you want to see the whole low C Nitro lineup, Nitro Pimp has it. If you want to see an MGT Mini 3.0 with a big block engine, which just so you know is custom and hella rare, Andrew Pope has it. So go to his channel, and I got to tell you, he made the Mini MGT greater than I have ever seen. Personally, I did a couple of videos on the Mini MGT. That's the 10th scale model. It's cool, but it basically runs like a first generation T-Max. That's basically what I'll say. It's like a first gen T-Max in terms of speed. But with the big block, it's quite incredible. It will blow you away, in my opinion. All right. Got about 65 folks in here. You know, we don't do it for the numbers. We do it for the Nitro numbers. So give this stream a thumbs up if you guys can. That would really help out the algorithm, I think. Although, who the hell cares? But, listen. If you're in a Nitro gang and you're watching this, give a brother some love, okay? And not that weird kind of love, but more like, you know, honestly, I don't like to use the word love. It's overused in modern society. You know, years ago, the word love had a meaning. Today, it has no meaning. It's basically become an Arma with a brushed motor, okay? A 2-wheel drive Arma. I'm not into that lifestyle, my dudes. I'm not into that. Okay, so I'm going to go to an old forum post, bros. Old forum post. Because I know John Hensley here and a couple of viewers want to discuss what the boost bottle is. Now, there were other kits available that were MIP branded. You guys might know MIP makes, well, literally some of the best tools in the industry. This is one of their drivers. So usually if you see one of these drivers, you know, this orange translucent handle, it'll say MIP over here on the side. These are some of the best tools known to the RC hobby. But if they made some of the best tools, isn't it also logical to think that they made useful upgrade accessories like boost bottles? And they actually did make boost bottles. So let's go. I'm gonna read a little post for you guys. You let me know. Nitro Racing, how you doing, bro? Happy to see you here, guys. This is a long-awaited project, and hopefully I can get it done today. Okay, let me see what we got over here. Armor vs. Track says, how you doing? That goes, MIP tools are the best. All right, we got a question from Ray Coral. He goes, Hybrid, I know you're gonna bring out that pimpin' Ducati. Well, first I gotta heal my whole entire right side of my leg, bro. You know, that's why mostly my streams are kind of indoors right now. I'm pretty much close to being real bad. But going to see the chiropractor for like the 5th time tomorrow. You know, gonna get cracked real hardcore. You know what sucks is when you go to the chiropractor, it's basically like a 3-minute session, but you pay the full amount of your copay. So yeah, I guess you could call it highway robbery, right? I guess you could call it that. But let's take a little bit of looking into a forum post. You guys want to do that? You let me know, and I'll zoom in on some crap. RC Adventures, thank you, man. All right, so I got my pink laptop. Fast Bobby, how you doing, man? All right, so we're gonna read this, everybody. It's a old post from 2003. If you guys don't want to do this, I mean, I'll read it because honestly, this is a lot of like logic over here. It's good to explain. So I'm gonna read what this person wrote about a boost bottle. Man, this is like going back to elementary school and reading things on a screen, right? So I'm gonna be over here, everybody. I'm reading this sentence, paragraph. So he goes. Let me just highlight it so it looks cooler. Come on, highlighter. All right. John, thank you, my dude. I appreciate that. Supporting the channel. Only RC Nitros. What's up, man? I'm using all of those funds to pay for my, well, treatment, so to say. By the way, just had the roof repaired on the house, and it's leaking again. Can't believe it. Can't believe it. All right, so a boost bottle is a small nitrous-looking bottle that mounts to the car and has a fuel line going into the carb. Makes sense. That's exactly what we observed, right? You guys let me know if you could see well. Oh, we got Eric and Matthew here. One of the greats. I recently got a bit of a package from Eric and Matthew. And if you guys don't know, his father is and was single-handedly responsible. Let me lower the screen a little bit so you could see what we're talking about. Let me lower this a little bit and we'll come back to the reading. Wolfpack Radicals, some of the best upgrade parts. I was going to use one of those parts today, but I think I'm going to have to stick to what this buggy came with. So let's go back to... But there will be a debut with some sickening Wolfpack gear in the future. Today, I'm basically ready to just do this. Because, well, I'm not looking forward to the chiropractor tomorrow. Let me put it that way. So when they put you on a table and crack you, you're basically praying. All right? Unfortunately, I've tried multiple forms of untraditional and traditional medicine. And I could tell you for a fact, chiropractor seems to help. All right. When a nitro mill decelerates quickly, you guys follow along with me. Let me know if you could see okay. When a nitro mill decelerates quickly, some fuel puddles in the carb and combustion chamber. Then, when you get on the gas, the engine will bog down for a second or two before the fuel clears out. You feel this. When you squeeze the trigger and the car takes a second before the RPMs really climb, the boost bottle is supposed to allow the fuel to gather inside instead of the carb, thus allowing the engine to accelerate more quickly, in theory anyways. He goes, this is not that useful in bashing, but if you race, it gives it an edge in acceleration out of the turns. There is some skepticism as to whether or not this item actually works. So I read the rest of the post. It's actually quite interesting because people go into discussing upgrades on their models, whether it works, it doesn't work. If you guys want, I could take a couple of minutes to go over it. I'm trying to get some of the logic into this. But let's get back to what we have planned today. So happy to see you guys here again. Like I said, I appreciate the support today. Boosted RC goes. So what they're trying to say is that during the intake cycle, it stores the volume to optimize the burn. My understanding is when you let go of the throttle, there's some fuel that I guess there's a difference in pressure in the front of the crankcase and the back. So, this is basically a little bit of a volume. It's an expansion chamber that it allows to equalize the fuel pressure. When you accelerate and then you let go, usually, obviously, if your tune isn't super lean, there's a little bit of a stumble. I'll be honest with you guys, I have ran an engine with a boost bottle in the past. I have. So from my own experience, I will confirm that an engine with a boost bottle, in my opinion, does seem to perform way better. In my opinion. That's right. Ray Coral goes, got a boost bottle on my Yamaha. It screams. That's right. People use them for two-stroke dirt bikes. And I haven't ran this engine really, but I know I have ran engines with boost bottles before. And I'll tell you, you could literally see fuel going through the fuel line. I'm going to replace this with clear fuel line eventually. And it does seem to actually puddle, as they say, in here. And then when you have less, what's it called, RPM, well, I don't want to use the word boost. They call them boost bottles, but obviously it's not like a nitrous boost, or it's not the same. Anyway, we're going to continue. My plan is to install this into the buggy. We got a question from Nitro Power. He goes, is that a 21 turbo pull starter? That is correct, bro. This is what the correct pull starter looks like on these models. By the way, if you remove this cap, let me see if I can show it to you. 1 second. I don't have it here. If you guys want, I could show you what the turbo impeller looks like in this engine. Do you want to see the turbo impeller? Give me a hell yeah. It's basically a unique element that sits behind the back plate. It's they call it the turbo impeller on one of these engines. So if you want to see it, let me know. I'm gonna have to go look for it. Keep in mind, I can't really walk that well right now. So okay, we got a couple hell yeahs. Let me go look at it. Bring me some water. Water. All right, guys, I'm back. I hope you weren't too lonely out here. Sometimes people be getting lonely, and then they make bad decisions in life. Don't be one of those people. Make good decisions in life. All right, Northeast Mods, if I dig up that RC magazine, I'll take a look, okay, man? So, I want to show you the turbo impeller because people asked, okay? So this is the original box from this engine. So they call it the 8-port turbo. In the early 2000s, this was a hot commodity. Original MSRP price, $219. This is the early 2000s. These engines were out for a couple years. Essentially, the modern, I think, Max Stars are kind of based on these. Now, this in modern dollars is about $400. Monty Kriska, how you doing, man? Happy Friday to you. Yeah, Eric and Matthew, $219. But honestly, I remember buying one. I had one of these engines, like in a Terra Crusher conversion back then, in a new era Terra Crusher conversion. Honestly, they were like 160. Oh, would you look at that? I wanted some Reese's Pieces, and we got some. Hell yeah, for the Reese's Pieces, baby. And of course, you gotta drink water out of a crystal cup. Am I right about that? Melissa, this cup is not even half full. What did I do to deserve a less than half full cup? I don't get it. I'm still gonna enjoy it though. Room temperature, perfect. That's right, John. Room temperature, half cup, crystal, baby. Can't get any sicker. All right. Ray Coral wants to know, how is Nitro Sandy doing? He's doing, let me show you a little picture. 1 second. Let me show you a little picture. I just sent a picture to one of our channel moderators. I'm going to show you how he's doing. Hold on a second. I'm going to show you right here. Grizzly, how you doing, man? Would you look at that? I just took that a little while ago. He was pretty sleepy. I'm going to be honest with you. He was pretty sleepy. Do you guys know what that engine that I'm holding is right next to the Ofna Hyper 8 port? Do you know what that is? That's a Nova Rossi, baby. That is a Nova Rossi. Plans for that in the future. It was actually an option for this buggy, but I decided that it's not going to be an option. Just for, you know, for today. All right, let's come back to the engine we got right now. Sickening. Let me get a little Reese's Pieces, actually. I gotta, you know, keep that blood sugar flowing, baby. You know, just took a lot of pills, so. Huh. Oh, yummy, yummy. Okay. That's right, John Hensley. This literally is Nitro Gold. Gotta love their design. Notice the back plate, pull starter says turbo. So let me open this up. What do you think is going to be in here? You know what? Let me look what's in there before I open it. Okay. All right, guys. This is kind of like my parts box for now. You want to see what's in there? Because there's some sickening stuff in this box. Obviously, the engine came out of it. Obviously. Let's do a little opener. Okay, so as I was saying, this is Nitro Gold. Don't mess with this box, baby. This is my treasure box, okay? It's treasure. There's treasures in here. This is the turbo one-way bearing. Let me put the light on a little more. I see the comment from Northeast Mods about the SH that stands for super. Damn, I forgot what you just said. I am not sure. It's possible. You might be correct. Super high? Is that what it stands for? Northeast Mods goes Megatext SH for super horsepower line. I would not be surprised. That would be some great marketing, actually. All right. So this is the turbo one-way bearing. The logic is, you know, it's a regular one-way bearing on the inside. You cannot separate these pieces. This is a single component. It sits in the back plate. It has the same kind of needle bearings. Ofna guy, how you doing? I'm happy to have a viewer and channel member whose 50% of their username is Ofna. No, actually 60% of your username. Sickening. Okay, Jay Crespo, how you doing? I'm just here talking about the rare turbo one-way bearing that they use for the Ofna Hyper 8-port engines. And Hyper 21s, basically. So this is what it would look like. That's your starting pin. One-way bearing is on the inside. And the goal of this structure, as it spins, it helps atomize and throw fuel into the top of the combustion chamber. Real genius design. You get a little better fuel, I would say, burn. You know, I'm not an expert in this, but, you know, this is just some of the marketing stuff, I guess you could say. But over the years, we know that these engines have proven themselves. So I would say it does make some logical sense, in my opinion. All right, so that's that. Oh, yeah, I forgot to actually put it into the back plate. Hold on. Yeah, Jay Crespo has 2 of these. Sickening. All right, so this is the Hyper 21 back plate. This is how this piece would sit. John Hensley, man, thank you for that. For the Nitro Gold explanation. I appreciate it. So this part is actually really good. The back plate is fine. There's nothing wrong with the back plate. I'm just missing the O-ring. But the way this would work, you would have a starting shaft in the back. and this would be spinning in the correct direction. Obviously here you can't tell because I already have it removed, but I don't have the shaft here, to be honest with you, but you guys get the point. This is kind of like a fuel atomizer, impeller. I don't want to call this, you remember like in the 2000s, there were these devices that people put into their cars, into the air intakes, that were called the vortex. The goal was that it would funnel air in a certain direction and create a better atomization of fuel. I know the car guys out here, Boosted RC definitely knows, Ofna guy definitely knows. But this is a great feature, and I hope, Ofna guy, if I said anything wrong and you guys here in the chat, just please correct me. I'm just going off of general information that I've learned over the years. All right, so enough for that. Let's get down to engine swapping. So I do want to talk a little bit about why I chose the Sportwerks for this engine. Now, eventually, so you guys know, the factory Sportwerks M26 will eventually go back. All right, we have confirmation here from Ofna guy. He says I am correct. Awesome, appreciate that. Now, my plan is obviously to eventually stick this engine back because other than a repinch, this engine will be fine. I already have it. I just got to send it away. This is more or less going to be just a testing and temporary engine. The compression is real hardcore on this. Let me just show you right here. I'm going to spin it. Whoa. It's real hardcore compression. All right. Let's get to swapping. Are you guys ready for the swap, gang? Now, there are a couple of issues I do want to discuss when it comes to swapping engines. And I want you guys, this is an issue that I know you will run into. Jimmy George, how you doing, bro? I'm going to lower the view a little bit here, okay? You're going to need this view, this bottom view. If you ever watch South Park, there's a term, it's bottom and then it's kind of a curse word. I know Lotus RC here knows, but we're not talking about that right now. So what matters here, and this is kind of a situation actually. Do you notice anything wrong with this Ofna Hyper 8-port engine? Look at the engine mounts. Do you notice anything odd with the engine mounts or no? It has to do with engine mounts. Now this is an issue that if you run into this, it could piss you off. Or you could just use shims. Or you could just use correct engine mounts. Hopefully you have the correct engine mounts. So, back in the day, there were generally two types of engine mounts. Some were for pull start engines and some were for sealed backplate engines. That's why JP's RC is correct. Bump start mounts. He is correct. Maybe some of you were correct. I didn't read fast enough, but JP's RC is correct. So, on this particular engine, the crankcase actually sits lower than the engine mounts. That means these engine mounts are obviously not for this engine. They're for something with a lower profile. In fact, this pull start actually doesn't stick out at all. So it's kind of odd. I'm really surprised that that's the case on this engine. If you notice, when you look at the side profile, you really want these mounts to be lower. Otherwise, your crankcase is going to be touching your chassis. And that's not good. You could also, just make shims and stuff. That's possible. But normally, you want your engine mounts to be something like this. Notice how far the crankcase sits off of, let's say in this case, the table. Obviously, I have screws here, but whatever. These engine mounts obviously go below the engine. Make sense, everybody? So what I'm saying is I'm going to have to swap engine mounts. I have no choice. So step one, get correct engine mounts. Believe it or not, in a lot of engine swaps, if you're working with anything where you need adjustability, you're going to have an issue with this particular design. And just like this. Eduardo, how you doing, my dude? He goes, is it low CG for road cars? Well, there are specific height engine mounts, based on whether you have a pull start or a sealed back plate. The logic is if you have a pull starter, it generally goes below the lowest point of the crankcase. That's the logic. Anyways, we'll talk about that. I don't want to get into that science too much. It's fairly subjective. Let's begin by taking engine mounts off. You guys let me know. You all enjoying the stream? Mini Mechanical, how you doing? All right. So I'm going to begin by swapping engine mounts. I'm not completely sure where these ones are from. Also, the problem is the distance between the holes I measured. It's actually not the same. So even if I put washers on the bottom, it would not work. All right. Eduardo, bro, I would say 10% better, man. I'm indoors taking a lot of prescription medication and trying to get better, bro. But nitros will never die. Okay, John goes, yes, all right, let's continue, everybody. Good point there from Jason Swint. I appreciate your comment. He goes, some race buggies have milled chassis. That is true. They, for race buggies, obviously this is not a race buggy. So here we're, this is more of the basics type of stuff. All right, so let me swap these engine mounts. I've already unscrewed them a little bit just to make sure I don't have to get no Dremel out because you can't really get around that well right now. All right, here we go. Oh man, engine is looking naked. All right, Big Boys Toys, bro. I'm doing the swap. I'm doing the swap, man. I don't get an opportunity that often to explain what a boost port is. So that's why I had to, take a lot of time to explain kind of what that is. Anybody can just do stuff. My goal is to encourage people to kind of find meaning in why things are the way they are. Not only in this hobby, but also in life overall, I would say. Right? Without meaning, without discovery. If Vincent van Gogh did not sit down and paint the famous picture, if Leonardo da Vinci did not paint, what would we really have to appreciate today? Right? All right, so I've got the boost bottle out. This is the mount. I'm gonna reuse. We're gonna use the screws from that other engine anyway. So. All right, so let me get these engine mounts out for now, and I'll continue, my dudes. SLC, how you doing, man? Sorry you missed the boost port discussion. Maybe I'll catch up on a little bit later if I have time. But in this case, the goal of the boost port is basically to provide some pressure equalization when the engine isn't accelerating between the front of the crankcase and the rear. Essentially, that's what it boils down to. All right, we're getting some action. All right, everything looks okay. Let me remove the engine mounts here. So these engine mounts are of a different designs. Basically, a nut at the bottom and the screw here. It creates tension and it just holds itself together like right there, Now, I'll talk a little bit about the boost port as, people are still interested. In my own experience, I have actually ran RCs. Oh, John Hensley gifted a membership. Let's see who got it. Oh, John Smith. Congratulations. I have actually run boost port engines, boost bottle. It's not called a boost port. It's a boost bottle. Before, and I mean, it wasn't a performance engine, so I can't say it was like a race engine or anything, but it was a regular RTR, HPI, in fact. I could swear that engine ran fabulous. compared to, well, you know, I've ran the same engine with and without them. Okay, here we go. All right, see, we got the engine mount out. I'm going to clean that up a little bit. I got to remove these parts too. God, that's hard. I need the screw. Guys, let me know if you want me to zoom in, zoom out, you know, eat some whatever, you know, and then I'll try to do it. Gotta bang this out. Hold on a second. There's a lot of thread lock on these screws themselves here. Eventually, when I get the piston sleeve in this engine repinched, I'll hopefully put this engine back in. Oh man, I was watching a movie the other day. I don't know if you guys care or not. It was I think a Stephen Hawking movie. At this point, I'm going to remove the other engine mount. Okay, let me just do this a little bit off camera, my dudes. It was called Dead Zone. Anybody here ever watch this movie with forgot what the guy from Blast from the Past? Dead Zone. It was called Dead Zone. Basically, he drives a Volkswagen Beetle, gets himself into a car crash. Oh, screw's still stuck in there. Okay. And spends 5 years in the hospital. In a coma rather. Comes back, and apparently he has the ability to see the future. So the plot is he realizes one of the congressional leaders, elected officials, I'm assuming, is going to basically be a bad guy in the future and cause wars. So he takes it upon himself. This is a pretty good movie to take him out. Good question in the movie, honestly. It's like, if you knew someone was going to do something really, really bad in the future, what would you do to stop it? Kind of that Hitler question, right? Would you take out Hitler if you had the chance? Now, I don't know if you guys here are, fans of history, learning, science, knowledge or not. I hope you are. But that's a good question to discuss. Would you take someone out knowing that they would cause the destruction of many, many more people? It's kind of like, would you save one person over 10? It's a question that I think human morality will always struggle to answer. Okay. Let's continue. So we got these engine mounts. Let me clean them up a little bit. 1 second, guys. 1 second. Right, let's get back over here. Let me just clean these engine mounts up a little bit. Oh, that is gross. Oh, Eduardo, yes. Stephen Hawking, yes. Well, I guess you could say that. Yeah, these are pretty, in fact, good engine mounts, in my opinion, because they're adjustable and they have fins on the side for a little bit of cooling. So good design. All right, I'm going to get this one set up. Once I put the engine mounts on, it's basically going to be go time. Made in Taiwan, as they said in Back to the Future. All the best stuff is made in Japan. All right, should be fine. I'm not getting too crazy over this. But you do want to shine up your boost bottle. You know what I'm saying? You want to shine that thing up good. What all I do is I got to refresh my own stream. I think it glitched over here. Got 80 viewers here in the chat. I appreciate your dedication and support and interest in this hobby. All right. I'm going to get rid of this off the table for now. And it's time to install these mounts. I mean, I hope they go in okay. I know I took them out from this buggy, so it really shouldn't be a problem. Good comment here from Northeast Mods. All Megatech SH Super Horsepower Series high performance engines feature true ABC. That's correct. Super horsepower. I guess it makes sense, man. Ofna guy, okay, I'm going to check. Oh, yep, I see it. Oh, Ofna guy just picked up some Hyper 21s. You know, when you have Hyper engines, you don't need coffee. Just saying. Michael Sucha, man, happy Friday to you and to Nicholas Shelton, who's out there running the Inferno GT2 and Jado. Sickening. All right. Let me concentrate a little bit on this. This is pretty important over here. All right, because I got to make sure actually that we have the correct spacing. If we have wrong spacing, well, I don't want to say it, but it ain't going to be good. All right, so that one nut is stuck over there, actually. That's not good. Oh, we got Mix RC, man. How are you? Let me just get this in and I'll adjust where this should be positioned. So hopefully, you know, we do have a little bit of adjustability like this, but that's basically the limited. So, you know, I guess this much and that's about it. It should be adequate. What's wrong with this one over here? This one seems jammed. Uh-oh. Hold on, guys. That one seems jammed in there. Let me figure this out. All right. Problem solved. Sickening solving of the problem. I'm going to put this one later because this also holds the bracket for the engine. Sorry, guys, it's taking me a little bit of time, but this is, as they say in Britain, fiddly work. Very fiddly. Well, I guess I could slide it in this way. Yeah, I could slide it in. We're going to slide her in. You guys ready for a little slider in? And there's a lot of accessories hanging off here, so it's not very convenient for me to slide things in. Is that the wrong one? Okay. Yep, slid it in. Damn, that one fell out. Well, you know what that means. Will be so yeah, there you go. That's basically the logic. Let me get the second one in. Not easy to do this stuff on a live stream here, you know. Basically hoping it all goes as planned. All right, guys, let's continue. I'm gonna have to slide the second one in. It appears to be the best method. You know what? All right, guys. All right. What I'm gonna do, let me lower the view a little bit. You guys let me know if you could see this way better. You know, I could do the low view, or I could do, well, mid-range view. All right, my dudes. Slide her in. My dude, I see there's some fighting conversation in the stream. Let's all be chill. You know, sometimes things get taken out of context. I'm sure, you know, we all love this hobby and hopefully, you know, appreciate each other as people. And that means we're going to get along, huh? Oh, man, this is not easy right here. I can't get this thing to lay flat. Hold on a second. Need to get that nut to lay flat. Never thought I'd say that. Okay, nut is laying flat. Nut is laying flat. Didn't I not say I'm gonna... All right. All right, gotta screw this in real good. You know what? This is not gonna work. I didn't do what I said I was gonna do. It has to slide in. I have to redo it. My bad, everybody. I have to redo this part. I said I was gonna slide it in, right? Yeah. My bad. Thing is, since I have the bracket here, the bolt isn't long enough now. All right, guys. Yep, let's all get along, everybody. We don't want our VPs to be fighting. All right. Damn, I can't do that. That's not gonna work. Okay, I see what I did wrong. This has to go in first. I see what I did wrong. My bad. This has to go in first. Then this has to be on it a little bit. All right. Damn, this is not easy to do on video, honestly. All right. All right, let's hope this will slide in. You guys understand what I'm trying to do? It's not that easy because we got this bracket taking up space. Please get in there. Come on. Damn. All right. I need a longer screw. Is what I need. Let me do this whole video for a second, guys. 1 second. Yeah, Jim, I need a longer screw. This might not work with this screw. Thing is, good luck finding a screw like this for now. Oh, I think I got it. Okay. Whoa. That was a snap. Like a good snap. Okay. I think I got it. All right, guys. I got the engine mount in. Thank God. Thank God. Whoa. All right, guys. I know there's a little bit of fighting in the chat, but, you know, please just, like, try to get along. You know, I don't really like to tell you guys what to do. You're adults. Sometimes things get taken out of context, but, you know, on this channel, we try not to fight each other. Sometimes people's feelings get hurt. Even me, sometimes I say things that, you know, might not sound too good, but I'll usually apologize for anything that could offend people later. But like I said, let's get along. All right, the other side should be easier. Got the engine mount in. That's what counts, everybody. That's what counts. Now that I know the process, it'll be easier on this side. All right. Sickening. Oh man. You guys want any more movie reviews of what we've been watching? Or the movie reviews are over? All right. Oh. John Hensey. That's right. I agree with you on that one, man. I agree with you on that one. You know, even me, I'll say things incorrectly sometimes. That happens. You know, sometimes, people have different points of view, state of minds, Even me, when I, used a word before that I said, well, what did I say? I don't know if I said anything bad, but, it happens. But you should, try to care about other people's feelings as well. But, there's a time and place and context for many things. But, all right, let me insert this. So yeah, when your engine mounts are easy to work with, you see how easy that is to insert? Cake. It's cake, guys, cake. The hard part is going to be figuring out, once I put it into the chassis, I'll know the spacing. I'll be able to adjust the engine mounts back and forth once it's in the chassis. All right, next thing I want to do, we got to make sure that our carb position is correct. The position of the carb, very, very important. Let's see, the carb position. All right, so what I got to do to do that, nope, that's incorrect. I need the old engine. Okay. All right, so the throttle link angle. Very, very important that the throttle link angle, this is the old carb that I removed, the Sportwerks carb. Very, very important that the angle is the same. As we could see, the factory engine, the angle was basically at I would call that a 45-degree angle. And mine is actually at about 350 degrees. We got people here that like trigonometry. Angles matter, everybody. Angles matter. That's why our Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle mattered as well. All right. All right. Okay, so I'm going to move this throttle link to be in that position. Man, I was watching an interview recently about Kurt Angle, the WWE legend. Honestly, Angle was my favorite. Guy made everybody want to drink milk, All right, so does that look about the same? I think that looks about the same. So you need the angle to be literally the same or else you're going to run into trouble. Does that look about the same to you all? The angle of the throttle link? You guys understand what I'm saying right here? These parts. All right. The angles have to be the same on the links. Okay. Oh, you don't understand? Okay, let me explain this. So these are the throttle arms, these parts, right? These are throttle arms. The angle that your... let me explain it to everybody. Okay, maybe I didn't say it correctly. Okay, so it's very, very important to have the throttle arm because this is where your throttle lever will mount on these balls, right? The throttle lever. If you have it in a different angle, your servo linkage will be stressed out. It has to be the same angle. Notice this angle. It's about 45 degrees. It has to be the same angle. Obviously, assuming your original angle was correct. Now, this is something that most people don't do, and then their linkages bind up. It has to be the same. There's a little set screw at the bottom. And you can move it in any angle you want. There's the set screw right there. Make sense, everybody, now? I think I explained it kind of clearly now. Rotate more. Yeah, we need this one a little more. Okay. It's rickety rock. Okay, I'm going to do that right now. Now, boosted RC, yes, I'm assuming that the linkage was correct to begin with. I think I did it a little better now. But I checked before I removed everything. The linkages were set up correctly on this buggy. All right, what are you guys saying now? All right, so we need, I'm going to install the throttle spring, the return spring, the throttle return spring now. So I'm not a big fan of some of these springs, but yeah, this one seems okay. And it's always a good idea to check the operation of the spring as it's installed. So this carb is a little clogged, so it's not working that well right now. When it gets a little bit of fuel through it, the throttle return spring will work better. All right, this one is okay. You got to be careful because these springs sometimes actually rip your dust boots. Really dangerous if that happens. This carb is just a little bit clogged, but it's gonna work when it runs some fuel through it, is what I'm saying. Make sense, everybody? Okay, I hope so. I gotta take a small little break, okay? Gotta take a small little break, everybody. Oh, Keith Tolhurst, man, happy to see you here, bro. Let me give you all an update. Take a little bit of a fiber. We got a Sportwerks buggy. It needed an engine because the stock engine was toast. So, of course, we got Ofna Hyper 21 turbo with the optional boost port going directly into that. The rest of the buggy should be good. Honestly, the reason I picked this buggy, I gotta say, I do like the factory hardware on this chassis. Now, I did have another option I do want to talk to you guys a little bit about. My other option, you might remember, was a hot bodies buggy, right? But that one is a little more of a taller suspension. It's kind of like, I don't, not maybe the correct term. It's not really, I don't want to call that an off-road buggy. They're all off-road, right? But some buggies, like the low Cs, they have a more low CG design. This one appears to be kind of similar to that, but in between the Ofnas. The Ofnas can have like a really tall ride height. And, it's going to be a flip fest, basically. This one, I got to say, the parts, real good. Even the factory pipe, it's old. But the factory Sportwerks pipe, I mean, it's an inline pipe. Meaning, I think these are called a one-piece pipe. So, meaning there's no silicone coupler. The header goes directly into the pipe. Clean and solid. So just because of the better hardware, in my opinion, on the Sportwerks, I do want to see this thing be a runner first. But both buggies have totaled engines. Yeah, JP goes, he has one of these. These are pretty dope pipes. I mean, I'm not going to disassemble or nothing. I'm just going to keep it how it is. Oh, I need some water. Melissa, can you get me some water? I can't really walk far. Really? Yeah, get me some water. From the fridge. Whoa. Alright, I'm back. Where is it? Oh, just get me water from the fridge. Thanks. Alright, everybody, let's go. We're going to install this now. Hopefully I don't run into any other issues. Yeah, RC Cars for All, thank you for that clarification. Yeah, it's not really called a one-piece pipe. I mean, that's incorrect. It's still obviously a two-piece pipe because the header could be disconnected. But what I meant to say is it's obviously not the same as having a silicone coupler, with zip ties. I've seen people refer to them as a one-piece. Obviously, that's incorrect. Yep, Eduardo, I bought a lot of glucosamine too. And what's it called? Turmeric. All right, let me see how this is going to mount, and I'll adjust it as needed. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to stick this engine with the engine mount screws, and then I'll adjust them as needed. You guys understand my logic? Well, please have the correct engine spacing. All right, so I think he'll be okay. Well, you guys remember last time I said the glass was half empty? Melissa went overboard. Is this the Titanic of water?
You asked me for water, so I gave you water.
You heard her? You heard her, everybody? You see what she did to me? Melissa, you want to show everybody your nails?
No.
Come on, show them your nails. She angry.
We're halfway done.
She angry at me now, guys. She angry at me. That's a lot of water. Passive aggressive nature, not good, everybody. That's what you call passive aggressive. You know, we should all stop being passive aggressive towards people in our life. It's not good. That's what I'm gonna say. Anyway, let's not. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put the pipe on first. It's a better idea to put the pipe on first, I think. What do you guys think? Yeah, it's a better idea to put the pipe on first. It'll be easier for me to do. All right. Eduardo, I bought collagen too. What'd you think? I didn't do my research? Good advice, though. All right, so exhaust header looks normal. The gasket looks like it's sealed. I wouldn't say it's the best gasket, but it does look like it's sealed. Man, I'm really getting it in there today, huh? Really getting in there today. Okay. Oh, hold on. This header is it's a little tough because I'm trying to do this on video. Oh man. All right. Stripped a little. Let me do this off video. It's gonna be dangerous. It's a lot of tension on this. I'm gonna do this whole video, guys, all right? Give me a second right there. Yep, I saw that coming too, man. Well, you live, you learn, you know? I'm already injured, so it should be fine. Just doing it from that angle I was doing it is not very good. I'm almost there. Give me a second. Oh, what's up there, Texas, man? How you doing? I'm over here fighting a header, man. You know, just fighting a header. No funny business. Just some header fighting. Almost done. Gotta do a short video. Well, guys, what do you think? Did I get it done? You let me know. What do you think? Got it done. It was just difficult to do in the angle I was doing it in. All right, so yeah, normally. All right, so it does fit. Okay, so I have the header in the correct position. Clearance is good over there. So I should roll this up one level. That should be rolled up a little bit. All right, like that. This one I'm gonna roll it up, I think, too. But let's see. So I don't want to get it in the way of that boost bottle. God, it's tough. All right, you know what? We're gonna leave it right now. So we're gonna leave it. All right. The important part is, definitely does not look like there's gonna be a leak here. So, all right, it looks tight. It looks tight, everybody. I'll say thank you all for hanging out. If anyone's having a bad day, let's just hope that tomorrow gets better. Damn, when I did this, my engine mount came out. You guys didn't notice that? When I was doing that, this thing came out. That's not good. It has to be in there. All right, there we go. All right, I'm gonna stick this in the buggy now and put the screws in from the bottom and continue. All right, now the goal is just to get some of the screws in, and I'll adjust the engine mounts later. Obviously, you can see these ones, I'm a little more spot on the engine mounts. All right, I got that one in. Yeah, I'm doing the screws right now. So it's, you know, once I get these in, I'll get the other side. It's kind of trial and error. But these ones, you see I got the position correct. These ones, I can move the engine mount. All right, how am I gonna move it? I gotta flip it back upside down. Gotta move this mount. All right, shifted it, baby. Shift, baby, shift. Now the holes, would you look at that? The holes line up, guys. The holes line up. Make sure you spell holes correctly. All right, we'll adjust the gear mesh in a little bit. This is basically the position, the vertical position, not the gear mesh position, really. Make sense what I'm saying? It should. All right, so now that we got that screwed in, that's right, Edward, time to screw the holes. Glad I have smart viewers in here that understand words for what they really are. I'm happy. All right, you know what? The air filter could be on this side. And now I'm going to do gear mesh, baby. All right, so I can move it back a little bit, actually. All right, so the position right here with the clutch bell, as you guys could see, the vertical position is very good. You all understand what I'm talking about, or what? The position with the clutch bell, the way the engine sits is perfect. Now, all I gotta do is adjust the side to side. Like this right here is very important, my dudes. Without the adjustable engine mounts, you would not be able to do this. Oh, baby, we got ourselves a roller. A roller and a mover. That is juicy gear mesh. It is juicy. All right, so yeah, this is the furthest back this engine will go. So yeah, honestly, perfect install. I'm gonna tighten up the screws from the bottom, but guys, you see what I'm talking about? Engine mounts, like it's a juicy install. That's right, John Hensley, man. I like metal music, bro. Me too. How you doing? He goes, I have a new Hobeo 8-port in my buggy from 130 pounds, bro. I'm happy to hear that, man. I'm happy to hear that. All right, let me finish this install. Engine went in smooth. Just got to make sure that the gear mesh is good when I flip it upside down. Now, it's obviously going to shift a little bit, but I'll do what I can to make sure that it's tight. What matters is the vertical position. Well, I mean, it all matters. You know, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying only that matters, but if you notice, I'm literally almost all the way out on the engine mounts in terms of gear mesh. So I could probably fit a clutch bell that's like 1 tooth more, but that's probably it. All right, this is just the first adjustment. Let me check how it is now. It rolls smooth. Let me check from the top. Think we need to move it in a little more. Okay, you know what I can do? I have to tighten these mounts first. So I didn't tighten these screws actually. Yeah, I gotta tighten these first, because these I just had them hand tight. Man, that boost bottle is right by the exhaust. It really shouldn't matter though. You can relocate the boost bottle. I don't know, guys. There's like nowhere to relocate this boost bottle though, because it's right by. The way this was positioned was a little different on the other chassis. All right, I moved it back a little bit. It should be fine. You see what we're talking about? It should be fine. I mean, honestly, you could put it anywhere, because you could put in any fuel line here. Yeah, I slid it back a little bit. It'll be fine. I mean, the pull starter has access. It's not obstructing it really, so it'll be okay. Let me tighten the other side. Yeah, we need a cup holder, bro. Yeah, I know I'm on the edge of the mesh. I'm not done. It's still a little bit in the adjustment factor. It doesn't matter. As long as the teeth... Oh, went the wrong way. Yeah, as long as the teeth are there, it's never going to be perfect, because you understand we're not using original parts here. It's always going to be a little bit off. I mean, we got gear mesh. Yeah, we would need a little more back. So the problem is, to get a little more back, I would have to machine the motor mounts a little bit, because it's at the edge. It's hitting the side of the block. It'll be fine. You know what? It's still like more than 75% of the tooth is covered. It's not the best, but the gear mesh is okay. It spins, and it's still, I would say, it's 75% of the tooth is covered on the gear clutch bell. Well, on the spur gear. What do you guys think? The thing is, the only way for me to fix this, there's only one way. And it's not something I think I want to do. The only way to fix that, you notice this engine mount. Jason, how you doing, man? I can't slide it back anymore because the engine mount, which is the blue part, hits the back plate right there. That's the reason. So if I do take off 1 millimeter of this, then it'll be perfect. If I take off 1 millimeter of it, if I like machine it, well, I don't have a machine thing, but I would have to use a Dremel probably, I'm assuming, about 1 to 2 millimeters, because there's still plenty of adjustment in the front, but I can't go any more back. That's the situation. You guys have any ideas? I mean, it looks fine, the gear mesh, honestly. I've seen way worse than that, you know? I mean, of course, I thought it wasn't good, but I have seen way worse. Let me just check. All right, so we have some good gear overlap. It doesn't hit the clutch bell. It's not perfect, but those motor mounts are obviously not for this chassis. What do you guys think? Will it work? Northeast mod goes, it needs to go the other way. No, it needs to go back. What do you mean? I can't move it anymore. Damn, he's right. Northeast mods is correct. My bad. Tarek, how you doing, bro? Northeast mods is correct, bro. It must be my pain that's not making me think correct. Tarek, how you doing, bro? I just fitted the Ofna Hyper 8-port. Correct, bro. All right, so I'm gonna undo these and move it back a little bit. Correct, bro. Sorry, my bad. That was an incorrect move on that one. All right, so I'm gonna move this engine. So we got the Ofna Hyper 8-port with the boost port installed, Tarek. That was the deal today. We got a nice 14-tooth clutch bell. Just gotta adjust the engine a little bit. I really had a little bit of a struggle with the mounting over here, but it should be good to go while I wait to get the other engine repinched. You know what? It's probably this nut that I had a hard time with. It's probably why I couldn't move it back that well. Right now I'm loosening the engine mount. And I'm trying to move it back a little. I just need like about 1 to 2 millimeters. Let's see what we got. I don't know why it's so tight. There's something that's binding. I might have to remove it. I don't know why it's so tight for. This one's loose. This one's loose. Fourth screw is loose. I'm trying to slide the engine back a little bit, everybody, all right? Sickening repair here today. Okay. Gotta say, this is a good-looking engine. Oh, I did it, thank God. Good hint there from Northeast Mods. Corrected me. Bro, that's why I appreciate people correcting me. Because, you know, you do 100 things, one of them is going to be wrong. All right, so we got a little bit better gear mesh now. Let me zoom in on that. There we go. Centered. You know what? I got to move it forward now. All right. Now that is some gear meshing. Look at that. Look at that lineup. Oh, man. That is beautiful. I like metal music. How you doing, Goes? Did I hear about the Savage X being discontinued? It's probably just temporary. Boosted RC, that's right, man. Finally. Let me get these screws back in. Worried that they're going to pop out of those holders, to be honest with you. No, it's not called holders, the nuts at the bottom. But, yeah, these particular engine mounts are... That's what you need. Highly adjustable. All right, looks like none of them have popped out. Otherwise, I would be screwing nothing. You don't really want to screw nothing in life. All right. All right, that's tight. Let me get the other side. So, yeah, let me go. Oh, yeah. Now, that is gear mesh of the gods. That is, guys, that is gear mesh of the gods right there. All right, so let me show you this side. So, yep, you were correct. I was sliding in the incorrect direction. Sickening. All right, it's tight. It's tight. Oh, man. Oh, man. That's a lot of work today I'm doing. By the way, guys, I am trying to make a deal on a Savage Octane if I get lucky. Rusty RC Nitros, what's up, man? Yes. Bro, if it wasn't for these adjustable engine mounts, I would be toast right now. Toast like the factory engine. But we got the engine in. Let me do the other screws that I gotta tighten for the chassis. So I only really tightened like 2 of them. Yeah, the Ofna Hyper 7 mounts are like that too, exactly, Lotus. Well, the Ofna was a proper chassis. I don't particularly, well, I mean, I gotta say, Sportwerks, they put good mounts on this buggy. You know, they didn't limit you with like pretty much only running their engine. Let's check out gear mesh. Oh yeah, Jordan Lynch, man. Yo, how you doing, man? Thank you guys for showing up, and especially to supporters and channel members. Making Nitro great again, one at a time. I tightened everything up real hardcore. Let's just check the way that this is all mounted. The position of the boost bottle. All right, so boost bottle is okay over here. It has a little bit of flexibility. I can bend it up. So this mount is slightly adjustable. And the gear mount motor, the gear mesh is perfect. Oh man, that is some beautiful gear mesh. All right, so now let's connect the carb and the fuel lines. I've tested the fuel tank in this. It's good. Where's my other fuel line? Oh, it's right here. All right, so this will be our exhaust line. Hold on a second. Why am I missing part of the exhaust line? Why is this not the right? There's no way this was this short. This is too short for an exhaust line. Let me just set up the other side first. What did I not do correctly here? Am I missing a piece of this fuel line? I usually don't remove the fuel lines. All right. Feels like I forgot something. Did I forget something? No, it looks pretty good. I'll be fine for testing purposes, really. All right, let's connect the carb linkage. You see that when I was talking about how important it is to have, let me put this on this side. When I was previously talking about how important it is to have the throttle link at the same angle, notice my throttle lever. It literally does not have much range of motion. That's why it has to be right there. Very important. All right, Tarek, I'm gonna, oh yeah, that's good. So let me do a quick analysis of my linkage. Oh yeah. The carb is a little, needs a little fuel to run through it, but it should be fine. Beautiful linkage. Sportwerks gang, everybody. Sportwerks gang. All right. The nerve pain pills are wearing off right now. It's not feeling too good. They're wearing off. All right, so let me see what else I need to actually do on this to get it running eventually. So you got to install the electronics. There's nothing here in the electronics world. I also don't have a body, but I do like the Sportwerks chassis. It is pretty sickening in my opinion. Even the shocks, I didn't mess with these shocks at all. All right, so anybody notice any loose ends that I might have left on this chassis or no? I think I should be fine, right? It's always a good idea to look over everything. I mean, the metal parts seem good. I like this front bulkhead. Well, it's not called the bulkhead brace. The bulkheads are on the bottom here. Chassis brace. No, chassis is a little dirty, but hardware pretty good. We have adjustable front and rear brake bias. What else? Sway bars. Looks pretty solid. I'm not too confident on that pull starter, to be honest with you. Oh, man. The wheel. I don't know if a wheel will reach this. So I could see somebody here in the past. Yeah, because... All right, so let me explain to you what the situation... I don't want to say it's a situation, but it's a situation. So the engine mounts are very tall, which is good for mounting engines. But that means the flywheel is going to sit kind of high up. You could see the prior owner, this wasn't me, they dremeled a lot of this. You could see on this angle, flywheel sits a little bit kind of high. I don't know, would not be a bad idea to cut this a little wider. I mean, I could use the pull starter. I'm just afraid of breaking the pull starter. Like, good luck getting one for one of these engines, you know? Oh. All right, that's about it, everybody. I don't know if I'm able to go fire it up, to be honest with you. Let me give you a look at yeah, you gotta warm these engines up really hardcore, remove the plug a little bit, or else you'll kill that cord. That pull starter cord is real weak. Let me show you once again the Savage Octane. I mean, I'm trying to buy it, but the guy is not playing ball. Let me see where it is. You know, if anybody gets it before me, then good luck to you. No hard feelings. All right, so this is the Savage Octane that I was trying to buy. So far, the guy's not really playing ball that much, so I offered him 400. Right? He's asking 549. I mean, it's a lot of money for me. Octane looks to be in pretty good condition. It's not far from where I live, actually. Wheels appear good. The body has like minor scuffs on it. Roll cage looks okay. There's the factory radio. I think it's called a TF20U. So HPI racing car, use regular gas, run 45 miles per hour. Yeah. These do not do 45. They do about maybe 35 max. But no, man, I can't pay that much. It's too much money for me. What do you guys think? I'm a big, powerful YouTube channel? Give me a break. I don't try to sell armas to people for a living. Okay? I repair old Nitros. There's no money in this. So I do have the Nitro version, but the gas version, I will be honest with you, man, it's impressive. It is real impressive. So, you know, if he accepts like 450, I might agree. But I offered him 400. It's not going down so far. I think he's going to want at least 450 to 475. Let me see if let's see what we got over here. It's a little too much. I mean, it appears to be in good shape, though. All right, so let me show you. I have my conversation with him. If you guys want to see, I'll show you my actual conversation. All right, so here's my actual conversation with the guy. It's my buddies over there. There's the guy, Jose. You know, he's asking 549. I go to him. He goes, sorry, I paid more 1,000. Obviously, English is not his first language, which is fine. It's not mine either. He goes, I can go 499. I go, thank you, but I can't afford that. Sorry, good luck. I mean, I can offer him. I'm gonna say how. I'm gonna go for. Yeah, we got Xavier, my buddy, bro, and that's Nitro Pimp over there. Tarek, bro, sickening hardcore. I appreciate that. Let me make him an offer right now. Thank you for that channel donation. He goes, how about 450? I'm gonna send it. Would that work? And I'm gonna say, let me know. Thanks. You gotta be polite, my dudes. You gotta be polite. All right, let's see. All right, I sent the message, baby. I sent the message. Thanks for that channel donation from Tarek, of course, and all of you guys. I appreciate it. So I sent it. We'll wait. I mean, 450. I know I'm not going crazy over here. I think it's, it's a small discount, really. But the thing is, considering there's no pictures, I mean, it looks to be in good shape. That cooling head looks clean. It honestly looks like very, very little runtime, if any at all, really. I could see the wire sticking out, so probably he was charging the battery pack. And this guy's not very far from me. I mean, I could actually go pick it up. I'm not in a very good shape right now, though. But I'll for a Savage Octane, I'll make it happen. Let's hope that happens. Let me give you guys a little bit of an update on the Hellfire, if you care. I'm gonna let you know when this guy responds. He didn't respond yet. He's probably having some cerveza. I would have some cerveza, but I got back pain. All right. So, update on the Hellfire in the back. So, the worst thing was the shock. I've managed to straighten out the shock. And, as I said, I ordered and received the shock caps, baby. I'm still waiting on the center diff cover. So you guys know, I am making moves behind the scene to make more Nitros great again all at one time, of course. So here's the factory shock cap for the Hellfire. It says HPI Racing Hellfire shock cap. Yeah, I got to tell you guys, Tarek, just so you know, one of Tarek's favorite RCs is the Savage Octane. He has one. That's why. All right, and his run's probably the best I've ever seen. Very reliable car, he said. So we got the shock caps. And I was able to straighten the shock out. I mean, it's better than I thought it was before. Texas Hill, man, how you doing, bro? All right. By the way, guys, that Ducati, I know Ray Coral wants to see it. That Ducati is not mine. I was just lucky enough to have a short of it, right? I did have a Ducati motorcycle on the channel before. That Ducati belongs to Tarek. So he's going to run it. Hopefully we'll get some video of it, right? But he's a master tuner. This is no joke. Me, I have run that Ducati before. It's an old Nitro motorcycle with no gyro. You really have to have very good skills and practice. You know what I'm saying? So that Ducati motorcycle, the short we're talking about, that's Tarek's Nitro bike, actually. All right, so let me show you the shock shaft. Oh, popped right out. So, it's mostly straight. You guys, what do you think? Just this part is a little bent, but whatever. I did straighten it out. I got to say, this was real tough to straighten out, guys. Real rough to straighten out. But now we got the shock shaft basically straight. I mean, I think it'll be enough to have some motion, right? Whatever. And I got the shock cap. I'm just waiting on the front hinge pin. They're called eccentric bushings for the Hellfire in the back over there. And it should be good. The center diff, I also ordered that. I'm waiting on the center diff itself. It's cracked in that particular Hellfire, which is like, I've never seen a cracked center diff in my life. By the way, I do want to mention, the HPI shaft shocks are really, really nice. Real thick titanium nitride shafts. These were real tough to bang back out to make them straight again. You know what I'm saying? Like, it didn't even have to go to deconversion camp, but it was pretty much hard to do. Bad joke, everybody, bad joke. So, that's the shocks. I'm thinking of, if you guys want, I mean, I could work on that Hellfire tomorrow. What do you think? Yeah. So, engine-wise, the engine is fine. It'll fire up. Obviously, I'm going to have to make some concessions, electronics-wise. But, I mean, fire-up-wise, I think it'll be ready. So, special thanks to Tarek for prompting me to get that Octane. The guy didn't write back yet. I could show you right now, actually, just so you guys know we're all on the same page. Let me show you the comment. Well, it's not really a comment. It's more like the conversation itself. But He didn't write back yet, so it says sent 4 minutes ago. So I offered 450. Let's hope it goes down, because chances are getting one of these Savage Octanes is pretty small. You know, a long time ago, there was somebody selling them brand new for like 700 bucks. I should have bought it back then. You know, my channel was doing better back then than it is now. But, you know, I don't really like to complain about the current condition of channels, this and that. I just, you know, make Nitro great again. That's basically the goal here, my dudes. Anyway, this is done. I don't think I'm in a capacity to honestly fire it up. My back is not doing too good right now. And medication is wearing off. I don't know if you guys ever taken this medication called tizanidine. Starts with a T, then goes a I and a Z. Tizanidine seems to be the only thing that actually helps me. Tomorrow I got a chiropractor. You know, basically it's 3 minutes of hell, and you feel like about, you know, 12% better after. But the question is it gonna last? That's the question. Well, my dudes, I'm going to stick around for a couple more minutes. I know you guys like to chat amongst yourselves. I think for me, big success on this buggy went down today. What do you guys think? You know, I had to overcome a lot of issues. Engine mounts luckily worked. Nitro Pimp, thank you, man. I appreciate that. You know, these aren't the best buggies, but it's still a Nitro. And, you know, there are people that have better ones than this. This engine is not going to stay here forever. I'll be honest with you, it's like, you know, temporary engine until I get the other one repinched. If you guys don't know, I'll show it again. I have it in the component parts. This is the factory M26. So once I get, you know, the piston and sleeves repinched, Carl, thank you, man. RC Adventures, thank you, bro. It'll go back in there eventually. So, but we do want to test out the boost port. Hopefully in, you know, maybe a couple, I don't know how to say it, guys. It might take weeks. I'll be better and I'll be in a condition to actually go and run it. I actually had a viewer send me something very interesting. If you guys want to see, it's a custom built pipe. I have not debuted it yet on the channel, but it's a custom built single chamber tuned pipe. If you want to see, I could show it to you. He's taking orders for custom builds. He sent me one for a review, and I'm be happy to do it. But you know, I'm not really in a condition now to go and like mount it and like go outside and run it. Like my knee and leg is killing me basically. All right, Texas Hill want to see it. Let me go find it. Get the pills, Melissa.
What pill?
All right, give me a second here. I got the pipe. Let me just make sure I got. You know, he is building them for people. He's in the Nitro Gang Facebook group. Great guy, great guy. His name is Justin Hardy. I'm gonna do a full review, but you know, this is just one of his recent designs. It's called the JH2, I think. Let me take it out for a second. I'm not, you know, I haven't tested it yet, but I will be. So I just took it out of this box right here. So let me show you the custom pipe. Let's see what we got over here. Hold on a second. Let me go back to the channel. All right. This is one of the preliminary designs. Looks like it got a little oxidation. What did I have in some kind of humid area? I think so, yeah. So this is a single chamber pipe. I see some pretty interesting design features. Now, you know, Justin could build these for pretty much any kind of style. The one I asked for was specifically for an RS4. Not for this, not for this. For an RS4 or a JATO. So, let me just show you inside. This is a single chamber. Interesting spiral design on that. I wonder what that will do. So I'm going to be testing this out real soon. Just, I can't really go out and do it right now. Like I said, he can mount the Stinger in any position you want and the pressure line in any position you want. I was initially thinking that I might want the Stinger, I'm sorry, not the Stinger, but the pressure line to be on this side, like coming out at the end. But I changed my mind. So this is going to be an RS4 pipe, in my understanding. The reason is you could run this for a JATO also. So basically you would have a rear exhaust header going to the JATO from a JATO right here. That's why Northeast Mod goes pulse ribs. So it's pulsed for your nitro pleasure, as they like to say. I'm going to polish this up. I didn't really do anything work to it, but we're going to be interested to test this. I did some research on single chamber versus two chamber pipes. They call dual chamber, rather. Single chamber is more of a lower torque, and a dual chamber is more of a mid-range to high-end. It's more of a linear curve of power, right? Single chamber is a lot of low-end torque. That's basically what they're for. A lot of old school pipes were single chamber, so there's nothing wrong with that. But he could put the Stinger on any side, and that's all there is to it. This is one of his, I think, first or second designs. I got to do a little more research on it myself, but that's basically the pipe. The good news is we do have creative people in the Nitro Gang group here, and all it takes is one or two people to contribute something, and over time it will hopefully grow into more. But I'm going to be testing this in the future, and I'll make a couple recommendations on future improvements to the pipe. I don't want anyone to trash talk it or whatever, but things could always be improved. Let's just call it what it is. And the important thing is having the ability and the will to build things that you can use. Northeast Mods, maybe I'll do a little short if I can go outside and do it. I mean, I can go out for like a very short amount of time. Can't walk that far right now. But we're going to get it done, my dudes. We're going to get it done. So that's Justin Hardy. If you want to reach out to him on Facebook, he's in the Nitro Gang group. I'm sure he'll give you some good information. As for me, my dudes, I am waiting for the response from the Savage Octane guy. He's probably drinking a cerveza. But when the cerveza is over, the Savage Octane deal might go down. I think with that, guys, I'm going to call it a day. Kelly Ryan, what's up, man? I'm sorry you came a little bit towards the end of the stream. Hopefully you have a chance to rewatch some of this. And that's why Tara goes ability and the will. That's the important combination. Lucas, man, how you doing? Thank you for that super chat to the channel, man. But like I said, ability and the will. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I have the will, but I do not have that ability. What really matters in a person is knowing what you don't know. When you know what you don't know, then you know where to begin. My line of work is basically, white collar. People that are good with tools, people that know, let's say, I don't know, roughing, plumbing, electrical, whatever. Obviously, they have a higher ability. Then there's people with, white collar experience that are good at like typing, writing, communication, stuff like that. It doesn't matter. But it's important to know what you don't know, because that is where you want to start. That's right, it's a rickety rack. But just a little word of advice, never think you know what you don't actually know. That's how disasters happen in life, my dudes, okay? Anyways, with that, I'm going to say goodnight to everybody. I got to go take my pharmaceutical medication, okay? And that's about it, everybody. You all have a good night. There will be a video this week, just so you know. Just because Nitro Gang is injured and limping doesn't mean there's no video. Video will always go down. Right, my dudes. You all have a good night. And we'll catch up hopefully tomorrow night. Maybe I'll get some good news on the Savage Octane as well, right? You all take care now.